It is unusual that the brands who is competing with each other work together and becomes friend despite their differences. So as a citizen of this earth, now this became my responsibility to come up and try to say to them, be a friend. Now you might be thinking, how am I gonna do this? No, I'm not gonna go door by door. I'll do it by combining their logos. So let's get started. Alright, first two logos that I'll combine is Dunkin Donuts and Starbucks. Both are known for their coffee, as we can see in the Dunkin Donuts logo. Okay, so idea is in my head and a rough sketch that goes like we have a woman in this logo and a cup of coffee in this one. I'll put the cup in front and the woman behind, and the one hand is holding this cup and the other is pouring something like sugar or chocolate powder kind of thing, and these two tails will cross each other just like this cup is placed on them. I know this sketch sucks, but this is just for depiction.
Shut up!
Now we will see what can I cook with this idea. First, let's extract this cup and the women from the Starbucks logo. Time to place to them at their spot. Let's just erase the unnecessary part. I also made her hairs like this, pointy, so that they look independent. Now comes the interesting part, her first hand. I have to make it look like it is pouring something, as I said earlier. See, like that. It is looking weird, but I'll make it better in the process. Now the second one. It should be little bit bigger because it has to hold this cup and the perspective. 4 fingers on this side and the thumb behind this cup. Otherwise this cup would slip. Now the tail. Tails. These two tails mermaid called Siren, and according to Google, they were considered as an evil creature. Okay, let me just adjust it so that I can place them as I desire. And the second one. Let's give her some curves so that it can attract customers. Now time to refine her fingers, which is on the cup. You know what? Let's remove these letters, because later in the process, we will give it a different name. Now time to refine her hands, because we cannot keep it like it. Some shadows beneath her fingers so that they can stand out. Now let's name this brand. I'll take the donut from the Dunkin Donuts and the star from Starbucks. So for the star text, we have letter S and T in the donut text, and for the A and R, let's see what I can do. So I found this font style which is not same, but I'll make it work. Or maybe I can use this letter U, and by flipping it vertically, yeah, now it's an A. And for letter R, I used that same font style and made the edges round just like the other letters. And after taking care of the gap between them, I made Donuts logo, the text, little bit small so that it can fit within the size of star word. Now we have our first two letters to add on this cup. And also I matches the color for these text just like it is in the original Dunkin Donuts logo. And after placing these two letters on this cup, I made a white stroke around the main text and fill the gaps with the same white color so that it can look like this. Now the small sugar cubes that she's pouring into that cup of coffee to make it more good, I guess. Or maybe she's poisoning it because of their rivalry. Now the background. And believe me, this took longer than I expected because I had no idea what to add in this background. So I went for a universal logo shape, which is the circular shape, and filled it with that same green color that the original Starbucks logo has. And after making little adjustment in her position, now we have our first fusion. Starbucks plus Dunkin Donuts is equal to Star Donuts. Now this is something. I had an idea, but I didn't think it would look this much cool. Okay, move on to our next fusion. And for that, I have chosen these two logos, Pizza Hut and the Domino's. Alright, particularly for this one, I have no idea. So I'll just try to go with this flow. First, let's take the main elements out, like this hat from the Pizza Hut. And let's see what can I extract from the Domino's logo. Well, it has nothing to extract. So what if I rotate this hat little bit just like, and then miracle happens. I got hit by ideas. My every nerve starts sending information like in gigabytes. Brainstorming started. And then I get back to implement this idea. I picked the same color as the Domino's logo and filled this hat with the same way, just like blue in the lower section and the red in the upper one. See, now it start taking shape. Now the white dots, 2 in the blue shape and 1 in the red one. And you know what? At this time, my nerves stop sending information to me for where to put these dots. So you will see me adjusting these dots throughout the process. Now time to give this brand a name. I like the typography in the Pizza Hut logo, so I'll use that same style. I'll take the hut from Pizza Hut and the Domino's from Domino's. Now let me just find the font style which would be similar to Hut style, like this one. Okay, let's put them in their place, just right here. I took letter I from pizza text and put it in my design.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Let's make it a little bit bigger so that this whole design can acquire the shape of a hut. And then I make this part from letter I transparent. I'm just experimenting it. I might remove it later or not, which we'll see. After thinking a few seconds, I drew a circular shape behind it. Now I can place the text within the limited area. Okay, let's make these dots transparent too. Some drop shadow. And again, after making lots of adjustment to these dots, I decided to give up on these dots because this is just giving me headache. And then I placed a wooden plank into that circular shape. And to give it some life, I gave this shape a textured edge. And then I see something in this logo. See this letter M? It has these two peaks. So I decided to place these dots right over them, just like this letter M has two heads, and did some little changes in the letter M to make it more appealing. And after giving a place to these dots, I gave another place to this single dot, which is in the red one. Now I'm happy with it. And then I fill these gaps with a darker color to give this wooden shape a 3D look, a drop shadow. And here we have our second fusion, that is Domino's plus Pizza Hut is equal to Domino's Hut. This combined logo is really looking awesome. Alright, next, that is Taco Bell and Del Taco. Again, let's extract the main elements from both logos. And then I try to place the sun from Del Taco to make it the upper portion of the bell and painted the same color in the white portion as it is in the upper part. Now this green part. And I placed it within the yellow part of the sun and painted the same color to fill the gap. I experimented it even more by painting different colors, but they were looking horrible than this. Now the naming part. Taco is common in both, so I took the first letter from the both logo and make it DB Taco, if that makes sense. After placing it in the desired spot, I give them a stroke the same color that the Del Taco text has. Now it is looking like this. And after looking at it like for few minutes, I'm not sure about you, but I'm not happy with it. So let's keep it aside for now and let's give this a little more time. And then I decrease the size of sun and put it behind the mountains. Yes, I'm assuming that these are mountains, and reposition the text style. I think it is done. Del Taco plus Taco Bell is equal to DB Taco. And you know what? I still wasn't satisfied with it. So I made one more version with a different perspective. Now you tell me which one out of these three you will prefer to see as a combined version of these two. And a bonus for you guys. I have combined two more logos, which is Dairy Queen and Baskin Robbins. And after combining these two, this became Dairy Robbins. I know it is not as good as the others, but in the original logo, there are only letters to work with. So you can expect more than this. Now, the question arises here, would they become friends and work together? Well, the answer is no. They will still compete with each other. And I think that's a good thing because that's how we as a consumer gets a good product. And yeah, I'm out.